I'm 17 years old and I love to dance. I play the piano, sing, write songs, and enjoy learning to play other instruments. The last time I was on this stage, I spoke at the first annual SF Talks about how my personal experience with Polynesian dance became one of my greatest passions, and how others can find the passion story of their lives. I stand here once again, but I am transformed. I stand here as a new person with an enhanced perspective and gleaming optimism. The significant difference between myself 2 years ago and now is that I am a cancer survivor. You don't really know someone's full story until you take the time to know them. And in a busy world, we don't even get the time to know ourselves fully unless time stops. For me, I was just an ambitious student at the beginning of my junior year, prepared for the kind of hard work that inevitably creates incredible memories. But life can change in a matter of seconds. On September 26, 2018, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, a type of blood cancer. My diagnosis had brought my life to a screeching halt, and when I first received the seemingly unreal news, I wasn't exactly sure what to feel. My mind went blank, and my body felt numb. I still vividly remember the quiet morning in my hospital room, trying to absorb it all. When my doctors proposed my treatment plan with me, I learned that I would have to undergo 6 months of chemotherapy treatment, along with hospital admission every 14 to 21 days, oncology clinic visits twice a week, constant imaging and blood tests, and several ER admissions in between. There were many things in my life that I thought that I could handle. However, I never saw this trial coming. And after the doctors left the room, I bawled my eyes out. One would think that I cried because of my diagnosis and the upcoming trials, but rather I cried because I couldn't attend my junior year of high school. I felt as if a chunk of my future had been immediately torn away. But even though I wasn't exactly sure how my body would handle treatment, what I did know is that I did not want my life to be besieged by cancer. I wanted to live my life. I still wanted to be involved in school. I still wanted to form new connections and closer bonds. I still wanted to be me, despite my diagnosis. And although my body was weak, my heart and mind were strong. So I approached the school aspect of my life with great motivation to stay engaged in my education. Despite treatment being debilitating, I enrolled in my local district homeschooling program. And last summer, I enrolled in online classes since I was unable to be in public places due to being in the state of immunocompromised. Last August, I returned with resilience at St. Francis as a senior, on track to graduating with my classmates. Throughout the many aspects of my treatment and many days in the hospital, the support of my friends, family, school, and medical team gave me newfound strength. I definitely still had days where emotional breakdowns seemed to come out of nowhere. But throughout treatment, I had a lot of time for introspective moments. And no matter how weak, no matter how tired, no matter how mentally drained I was still able to go through it with a more positive attitude than I would have ever thought. This has taught me that having optimism is essential during life's hardships, along with other support to nourish that fighting spirit. I was able to stay positive amidst the circumstances because even though I was at my lowest point and at my most vulnerable state, I did not isolate myself nor shut people out. Rather, I welcomed every visit, whether it be friends, family, or teachers, and tried to stay connected with others, whether it be talking in person or on the phone. Striving to sustain perseverance and staying connected with my loved ones sparked motivation and hope, and personally affected the way I handled my experience with cancer. Before, I used to stress about many minuscule things. I used to stress about every single little detail in my life. Usually, we take our bodies for granted. Sometimes we forget the privilege of being healthy. We sometimes also forget to be grateful and appreciative of the people in our lives who support us. And cancer had jolted me into no longer taking anything for granted. I know that everyone in this room has things to do and places to be, and so do I. But every now and then, take a pause. I now invite you all to close your eyes. Take this moment to reflect inward very closely. I want you to think about a time when you were challenged with something, big or small. How did you handle it? Did you run away in fear and pessimism? Or did you choose to make the best out of that moment? You may open your eyes now. When you are faced with such adversities, look inward. Recognize that all the optimism and determination you need is already within you. You just need to focus on harnessing it. Take a moment and pause. This way, you will learn to face hardships with enthusiasm and confidence. Number 1, don't let these challenges discourage you. Rather, let them fuel your determination, just as I took each chemotherapy cycle as a challenge, charging it head on with perseverance. Number 2, encourage and welcome other support. I would encourage people to come visit me and would welcome every visitor. And leave your heart open, as this allows you to polish your lens on life and may bring you new paradigms from life-changing experiences. The last time I stood on this stage, I told the audience about how they can find the passion story of their lives. Today, I tell you to transform what was once discouragement into self-encouragement, and to further use your harness optimism and determination to inspire others. The picture on the right is a symbol of my perseverance. That day, I rang the bell in my hospital unit, which symbolizes that I had completely finished treatment. It's not entirely easy to be on this stage, and I know that having cancer as a teenager is an incredibly unlikely and an incredibly unique experience that may seem a little bit hard to relate to. But through my story, I hope to inspire you to charge at life with gratitude and determination. I am not strong because I conquered cancer. I am strong because I am me. Thank you.